Welcome to Rampage, which I have to apologize for. As you can hear in my throat, I got sore throat. The weather in New York just changed from being really hot to flipping down to be cold. And it looks like I got sore throat because of it. I'll be alright. I got no fevers, I'm perfectly alright. But I usually get it around this time of year. And when I get like this with sore throat, feel a little tired because I got sore throat and I feel really bad. I took some medicine, went to sleep, and I forgot all about doing my Rampage review yesterday, which pissed me off. So what I did, I decided to watch most of Rampage, and I was going to do recording early in the morning, which I did. Also did check up on Bobby Fish. I was asked about Bobby. So I am going to be filming a Gump report after this. Either I'm going to release it in the same day, maybe later in the day, or Monday. Don't know yet. But I'm going to handle what I got in front of me first. Now, I'm not going to lie. This isn't going to be a very detailed review. But I will give you my thoughts on the 2-hour show. Was it done well enough that I feel like that they can continue being like this? Opening was a no DQ match between House of Black, which was with Brody King and Buddy Matthews. Also, Julia Hart was there with Sting and Darby Allin. Now, this was not about if the match quality was good or not. This was about what happened during the match, where Darby Allin got busted open, and if you saw his Twitter, he's got, 5 staples in his head because of a spot he did with Brody King. I didn't mind the spot, but once that spot happened and Brody King got him getting his, I don't know what's going on with Sting because he had a spot too with 2 tables and he bounced his head off of one of those damn tables. Hopefully he's all right. Then we got Darby Allin, who was doing a spot with Brody King where he gets so busted open, he had to have at least 3 to 5 staples in his head. And then finally when the Great Muta comes out, supposedly, and I understand not everyone likes the Great Muta from Pro Wrestling Noah, I never had a problem with him whenever he was shown. And then once he comes to the ring, faces a Sting who had to break his handcuffs to win the match. And I knew it was going to come. There was no way they weren't going to show Sting breaking handcuffs. He is the ultimate, Sting. Once Buddy Matthews gets sprayed in the face with that mist from Muta, you see Julia Hart already on the skirt of the ring fall back, went well past her spot to hit the table, busted part of the table with her ass, which she doesn't really have that much. It was mostly her ass and her back, and let it flush to the ground with her head. That is where there's a big question. That wasn't just maybe her going like this. She went in an arc, flying over the table and landing her head on the concrete just under the guardrail. Well, the retaining rail to keep everyone out. That was bad. So we got 3 people who could be hurt. I know they didn't say anything about Sting, but they're going to probably keep checking him just to make sure because he did hit his head pretty hard off the edge of one of the tables that he was supposed to use for his protection. Everything in this match went bad. It wasn't the fact of the wrestling was bad. No. It was that everyone got hurt in this. Sting got hurt possibly. Julia Hart, I am very worried about because she took a long arc. Splat. And Darby Allin's got staples in his head. Hopefully they're all alright, but I'm still worried. Next, we got... I don't know what to think about when it comes to Action Bronson and Hook. What did I just see? Action Bronson, who rapped down to the ring, and I thought Action Bronson was a wrestler who's been around for a while. No, this was his debut match. He's never wrestled before. And I'm going like, okay, you got the Jericho Appreciation Society having to bend their asses over for not only a Hook, who's already red hot as it is, no matter if you like Hook or not. You now got an Action Bronson, from what I understood from the commentary team, he's never wrestled before. He's from Taz's own school. And this was his first legit debut match. If I heard it wrong, you guys tell me below. Maybe he is an actual wrestler. It's just been a while since he wrestled, or they just wanted to make him special. Maybe I might have heard it wrong because I do have a sore throat and I was uncomfortable and I was tired, and maybe I heard it wrong. But if I didn't, really? I don't know. Wouldn't it have been better to put him on Rampage, not Rampage, but on Elevation or Dark first? Unless he's already been on Elevation or Dark. I don't know. They won by submission. Double submission, even though it was only one that needed. I don't even remember who got the submission. I do believe it was Hook who got the submission, but Action also did it too. Now, am I angry about that? No. It's not hurting the Appreciation Society. The question is Action Bronson important? Particularly that he was rapping down to the ramp, and it was mostly kind of botched. He kind of botched some of his lines, some of his bars while he was going down the line, going down from one part to another. He messed up I don't know how to feel about Action Bronson. That's why I'm botching. I don't know. I don't hate him. If the guy is in his 30s, kind of like what happened with Diamond Dallas Page, and he just said, you know what, this is a dream of mine. I've always wanted to be a wrestler. He's already grayed out like I am. I don't know if he's in his mid-30s. Maybe he's nearly 40. He just wants to run and at least try to be a wrestler for a little while, and then he can say he fulfilled his dream. Cool. It counts on how Tony's going to book him. And let's just hope they don't book him like crazy. You guys tell me below. Now, Wardlow and Joe. Did this accomplish anything dealing with Nice and Woods? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not against Wardlow working with Samoa Joe. They're both champions. You got the TNT champion, you got the Ring of Honor television champion. Pretty much the same title. The TNT title is no better than the TV title for ROH. No difference. But does this really help Wardlow? And does this really help Samoa Joe? Well, for Joe, I think it does, because he's been away for a while doing voice work on a movie. So he needs some time to start building back up into being able to be ring good. The question is, does this help his character? I don't know. We've been wondering about Wardlow not doing anything. Is this good for Wardlow? Working with Samoa Joe, if they do a tag team bit, it would be something different. You could have the TNT champion and the Ring of Honor television champion going after the AEW titles. Or maybe going after the ROH titles. I'm not saying that's going to be perfect, but it will be something different. And then you wonder what's going to happen with FTR, dealing with the guns. I know I didn't say anything. I left it because I don't know what they're going to do with the guns, dealing with FTR. I'm just saying. In the end, you know how it goes. You know who won. And you know who got powerbombed, name of Smart Mark Sterling. The question is, what did it do with Wardlow and Joe now? That is a question. I don't know. Now, the match that was the most hyped, because it was the first time ever that they were facing singles, and that was Jungle Boy versus Rey Fenix. I wonder if it was that important. Wouldn't it have been better to say the next person, if either one of them win, they'll be the next person to face Wardlow? Or the next person to face Joe? I think that would have been more necessary. Because as it stands, having a first time ever between the two was not the issue here. It needed more. Yes, we did get what we got at the end after it was over. But honestly, it would have been better if there was an actual stipulation saying that whoever won would go after the TNT and the television champion. You guys tell me below if that makes some sense. To me, it does. So, the match was fine. In the end, Jungle Boy won. He showed a Rey fingers. I think the reason I botched is because of how Rey was acting. It wasn't that Rey was acting heelish. It was that the fact that it felt like Rey was holding back a bit. For me personally, I don't know. I've seen Ray work a lot better and a lot more than what he was doing with a Jungle Boy. I felt like it could have been a little bit more. In the end, Jungle was going like this. He thanked him. They gave a hug. And then you get pretty much Christian Cage's music. You get a splat by a Luchasaurus because he splats him. And he says, this is the end for you. You want to come after me? You took off my arm. Now my right hand's going to take care of you. Destroy him. And he does only one power bomb when he should have done 3. I'm sorry. You really want Jungle Boy down? You don't do one power bomb to Jungle Boy and then another one. You needed 2 more, need at least 1 or 2 more to make it really apparent that Luchasaurus is going to totally dominate over him. That's the way it looked. That's the way it should be. But we only got 1 power, laying him out once and then 1 power bomb when it could have been 2 or 3 more, and that would have been really dramatic, and I think that would have helped. Jungle Boy particularly would help Luchasaurus because we don't see much of Lucha and we need to know that he can totally dominate over him. I'm just saying. Here's a match that I'm wondering, when are they going to pull the trigger on Eddie Kingston? Eddie versus Sammy Guevara. Eddie, at this time, is one of my most favorite wrestlers, next to Pac. That boy and Eddie are my favorites. They are. It's not just because I like high flying or do I like more Japanese wrestling. It's because of their characters. Because I like them both. We know what happened during the match. And when it came to the end, when Eddie put a lock on him and made him fade out, he won the match, but then he refused to let go. And then he lost the match. I'm going like, why? Why did they do this? Does this mean they're going to really do something with Eddie? Does it mean they're actually going to give Eddie an opportunity? Eddie right now is still incredibly hot with the fans. Eddie right now is loved by the fans. But what have they done with Eddie? Yes, he's been in some high spots with Chris Jericho and CM Punk. But when are they going to really give him a position where he can go forward? Yes, he was suspended because of what happened with Sammy. He was. And this is probably going along with it. And particularly what Sammy did in the very opening. And I didn't forget about him saying, Eddie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say this. I'm sorry that no one's ever said this. He said you're nothing but a piece of shit. And that's when the thing started for their match. I understand that kind of goes along with the pie face that he gave Sammy and he got suspended for, which he did apologize. And he said he should have been more professional. He should have. And he admits that and he owned it. So was this helping Eddie? I don't know. I'm hoping they're going to give him a TNT title shot eventually against someone who Wardlow will drop the title to. Because sooner or later Wardlow's got to drop it. I'm hoping it will eventually go to Eddie. That's just me. Now, this is where I'm going, I didn't care. I didn't care. Jade Cargill against Diamante. I knew Diamante was going to win. I don't mean Diamante's going to win. You see, the reason I'm botching is because, honestly, I didn't care. Did Diamante look okay? So-so. Did Jade Cargill look alright? Fine. Do I believe Jade got great character? Hell yes, she does. Do I believe she's improved her in-ring ability? Yes, she has. Do I believe that she's improved her mic skills? Yes, she does. Does she look like a goddess? Hell yeah. She's built like this. She already got a child, and she looks like that. No one can take anything away from her. She has improved her mic skills. She has improved her in-ring skills. She has improved her character. Yes. But does this translate to make her look greater as a TBS champion? No. It's time to drop the title and move on to the main title. She's held it long enough that she doesn't need the TBS title. That is me. I believe she can move on and start trying to build herself up to the main title and try to get it next year. I think she might be ready by then. As it stands with the title now, it just doesn't feel important. Not because she's not making it important, it's that she's already done all she can do with it. Remember, guys, when it comes to a title, either the title can make you or you will make the title. We got a very, very young in the business, Jade Cargill, that needed something to build her up. And then we got a new title, brand new, that really needed a veteran to make it get over. You stick these two together in hopes that both of them would get the other over, and it's not working anymore. It worked to a certain extent because Jade's record, but now she's reached a plateau with it. It's time to drop it. That's just me. The Golden Ticket Battle Royal. Paige won it. So he will be going up against Jon Moxley. Do I believe he was a rock? Let me give it to you like this. They don't got CM Punk. They don't got Kenny Omega. They don't got the Bucks. And I'm not saying that they're the greatest of the ones there, but there was a lot of storyline that was supposed to be written months ahead of time that have now been changed. And they're falling back on Paige because they don't got an option. I'm not saying Paige is not a bad talent. He's fine. But in this situation, they had to fall back on a fallback that they knew can get it done. So that's why I believe Paige has been the one that's been picked to go up against Moxley. That's why. Because if they could have used somebody else. And I believe they should have. Do I believe there are other people there that could be stepping up? Yes. Why not bring a Pac? Why not let Pac drop the damn title, go into the Battle Royal and be the one to win it? Hell, you could do Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks could have gone for the Battle Royal and he could have won it. Particularly what happened here at the Lights Out unsanctioned match. That's the last match of the night. Ricky looked good. So did Powerhouse Hobbs. You could also throw Hobbs in that position. I'm not saying that he'll do great because we know that they're not going to let Moxley drop it. But you got Hobbs, you got Starks, you got, well, I know everyone is not going to agree with this, especially with Ricky. But you got three people there that you could do something with. Pac, Ricky, and Powerhouse Hobbs. They've had their moments. They've been built up. They're being used for something. Hell, you could use, well, I don't think you can use Dante Martin. He's been in that position already more than once. So he's gone. But you got at least three other people you can actually shove into the main title scene that are totally different. That if you build them enough, they can mean something with Moxley. And that could springboard them to continue being important in the main title. Main title scene. That's where I'm seeing it. Was this a good show? It was okay for 2 hours. Now, here's the question. Is Rampage good enough for 2 hours with this kind of content? The way it's booked, I don't know. It wasn't bad booking. It was generally solid. But I don't know because there's no team in place to really continue working when Tony can't. Guys, Tony is the one who's still booking by himself. And I'm hoping the new people are coming in to help him to book. Because I have heard that he's already setting up a team for the women when it comes to Marie Bennett and a couple other people. But the question is, what about the main title scene? What about the mid-card? What about the undercard? He can't keep booking by himself anymore. He can't. He's reached a point. But this is just me. Peace.